Folks, we have an absolute treat for you here. We have got Warpaint, two-fourths of Warpaint here with us today. Just they're playing their set later on, and they're going to have a quick chat with us here. Welcome to Dublin. How are you finding it?
What's that?
How are you finding it?
Oh, well, we just got here. Oh, I did actually. Theresa got here yesterday. Emily, Stella, and I stayed an extra day in London. Yeah. So
And
I just got here like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
No, like an hour ago.
And you've been you did Primavera 2 days ago, was that?
Two or three.
Yeah.
2 or 3,
Something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
And how was that?
That's always an incredible experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just nice being out on the Mediterranean, and just there's always good bands playing. I think they pretty much always do a flawless lineup, something really exciting,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. We saw Bjork.
Yeah.
Saw
Oh,
Fever
yeah.
Ray. Fever Ray was incredible. Yeah. Nick Cave was playing as well. But I really liked the feminine energy of the Fever Ray experience.
Yeah.
I think that was like a strong point, yeah. Saw Vince Staples as well. It was just nice seeing him on the stage. He doesn't really have a band, but yeah.
He was here yesterday. He has so much energy. Like,
Yeah.
there can't be anyone else on the stage because he just uses the
Yeah.
whole place.
And
like,
his
running
body
about.
is silhouette just moving the whole time. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool. Yeah.
And when was the last time you were in Dublin then?
I don't know. Sometime last year.
With us. Yeah, it was like a year. I think it was a year ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
Club show.
Someone could.
March?
March, there we
March,
are.
yeah.
Yes.
A
Thank
year
you.
and 2 months ago. Thank you.
And do you like playing here? Do you like coming down?
We do. I love it here. I think it's great. I actually prefer Ireland to England. Not that it's the same thing. It's just sunny. It's
true.
sunnier. It's I don't know. There's some, I know.
She's not just saying that.
You don't go over to England and say the exact opposite then?
No.
Great.
No, England is great
It's
too.
great, but I like it here better.
Cool.
A little
And you-
warmer, a little more, down to earth, and
Brighter.
Yeah.
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 It's not normally like this, but you've got a really, really
No,
good
we don't
day.
mean the weather. we
Yeah.
mean
The energy. The energy.
Yeah, excellent.
the weather of the people.
Yeah. And this is kind of part of just a mini tour that you're on at the minute. It's just a few kind of festivals here and there.
Yeah, it's just a 2-week run, and then we're basically hitting the festivals that we didn't get to play last summer because we were doing other festivals.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you were touring with Harry Styles, opening
We
for
did
Harry
do that.
Styles recently. How was that? How's Harry?
That was amazing. And Asia's incredible, and I had a blast. He's great, his crew's great, his band's great.
Yeah. Any particular highlights from it?
Yeah. Well, just watching his show, he's a really good musician, really good songwriter, and I think there's a lot more to come from him. I think right now his audience is pretty much young girls, which was actually so perfect to me that we were the opener for One Hot Minute, because just to hopefully inspire some girls to go out and start making music and not just be screaming for some guy, know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure
But
they did that anyway later on.
Yeah, but they were really welcoming to us too. They were we pretty much got treated like queens, and it was a very luxurious and amazing moment in our Warpaint history.
Was there any surprising cities that you visited where they were really receptive and that they'd heard your music?
Surprise. Sorry, what?
Was there any kind of surprises whenever you were touring that cities that you really enjoyed playing in?
I think Thailand there was a lot of Warpaint fans there. We'd never been there before, so that was cool.
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in between all this, you've obviously been working on an album yourself.
Yeah.
Which is how do you find the time, or how do you sit down and get all these ideas together?
Don't know. Just neglect my child and go crazy. Yeah.
She's kidding.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in 5 weeks. It sucks.
Right.
No, I spent a long time doing it, so I was just putting it in without stressing out too much, trying to get it done as when I could. So it's been a process for a few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy that I finally finished it and got it out. And I didn't really know if that day would ever come, but it did.
And it was kind of a collation of all these ideas that you were saying you've you've had these ideas for a while, and it was just a matter of kind of sitting down and getting the time to do it. Does it feel like a massive reward now that you finally got it out?
Definitely. I really am so happy I did, and like I feel like more opportunities are coming, and like I have another door open to somewhere that I can go with my life, and also feel like more equipped and have more ideas for what I can add to Warpaint, and just like generally I think it's been a very positive thing to do.
Yeah. And I know Bjork was obviously a huge inspiration. What was it like to see her in Primavera? Or had you seen her before?
Yeah, I've seen her a bunch of times now, actually. Like I don't follow her music as much nowadays, but her first 3 albums really were during, like, I listened to those a lot when I was like really just deciding I wanted to make music, and I think I always thought that I would be, if I were to ever be a pop star, I'd be like that kind of pop star, something, you know, if I ever to be. I mean, she was a pop star in her day, obviously, and to me that was like the best form of that you could ever have. Like, there's depth, but then it's also very catchy, accessible, and it's really interesting, not what other people are doing. So I don't know, I just always kind of thought of, like, I don't know, I thought of like making albums in that way, making songs in that way.
Yeah. And you've as a band, you seem to have struck a really good balance between touring and doing solo projects and doing work as a group. Has that been something that you've had to kind of work out over the years that you've been together? How to kind of strike that balance?
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's just like the natural evolution as well, just growing up and becoming more mature and being able to handle more responsibilities. Yeah, I would say we've gradually got there. At first, you know, it was very much just about us and writing songs and doing things. But like she just said, I think it's very helpful that we all have different and other outlets, so that when we come back together, it feels kind of fresh. And I don't know, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. I think it's nice to branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're nearly 15 years together now. Are you still all great friends? Still all very comfortable in each other's company?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's like family, so
Yeah.
we're not really going anywhere anytime soon. There's a lot of love there, but yeah, we do get irritated with each other. It'd be weird if we didn't.
Yeah. And your last album was back in 2016. It had all these kind of reference points, all these great kind of new influences in it. How did that kind of, can you talk a bit about how that album came about and the process for writing it?
The Warpaint album.
The Warpaint album,
Yep.
Wait,
what?
Warpaint or Heads Up?
Warpaint, Heads Up.
The
Yeah.
last Warpaint album, Heads Up. Well, I think we did kind of get to a point where we needed a little bit of space from each other. So then with that last album, we spent more time writing separately and in pairs, and not doing the thing that we did originally, which was like jamming together and writing everything and arranging it all and being in the room together, doing the whole thing in that, like, together. So this time it was more isolated, like as individuals or pairs, and that's really different. It was cool that we did that. I think maybe now we might want to go back the other direction, because that old process has now become like something more new to us again, and it's nice to be able to do a little pendulum swing and try different things.
Yeah. And do you have plans then for the next album? Is it something you're consciously kind of thinking about at the minute?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. We're not working on it as we speak, but we definitely have plans to do that in the near future.
And would you come in with ideas, or how would it normally work?
What's that? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing.
Would you come in with ideas, each one of you, and then kind of put it together, or how does it work?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that we write. Our songwriting process, like she was saying, is we've got many different ways to do things, or for doing things. And someone will come up with an idea or a song and then bring it to the band, and then we'll work on it. Or maybe 2 people will pair up. In the past, Theresa and I have paired up quite a bit, actually, and wrote a lot of songs together, and then the other girls will come and put things on it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of whatever you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
I guess whatever happens.
And do you have like a time frame? Are you always thinking of the future and when you're going to be releasing, or is it just kind of take it as it goes?
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like there's a plan, but then sometimes things happen, and you know, the plan falls through, but then something else happens, and I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I found that it was really nice on my album to not have an end point already. Like, there's been a few times when we've been recording and we already have our kind of release date deadline. And then from there you build what your schedule is and what your touring schedule is. And to be making an album and having that date already in there, I think adds pressure that isn't really nice for, or isn't suitable for writing and being in creative process. And like with my album, I didn't have any of those constraints. I got to dictate it when the end point was, and I think we need to implement that as well. I mean, it's good to have some kind of stopping point so you don't really like kill the thing by being over analytical to a fault, but you know.
Yeah. And what's just as a final question, then, what's the future look like for you? Is it do you still kind of want to keep releasing albums and keeping touring as much as you've been doing, or what does it look like?
I don't think. I mean, we probably all have a different, you know, opinions or things that we want to do, but I think I don't necessarily want to tour as much as we've toured in the past, and I'm pretty sure that we can do whatever we want. I guess that just things just happen. Like I said, plans change, but I think I would like to release more music and tour a little less instead of the other way around, because that's what we've been doing since we started. And it would be nice to have more time at home and more time to be creative, more time to evolve, make new music, do things. That sounds like fun to me.
I agree.
Excellent. I think we'll be open it up to the audience if they have any questions. Does anyone in the audience have any questions?
Does he need a microphone?
We'll get him a mic.
Cute.
Whoa.
Hi.
How do you write your vocal harmonies so like dissonant but so pretty? Like, what's your like? How do you do that? Like, just so much dissonance, but it's just the best sound of all time. Like, how does that in your head? Like,
I don't know. We're just freaks. I don't know. I think
know.
like something that's a hard thing to quantify because it's not. I think that kind of thing just either you like that sound and it comes to you or you don't. You know.
I think probably just our combination of voices as well. That Theresa and Emily grew up singing. They were in choir and they did a lot of that. I didn't really do much of that. I think that the harmonies all come up with are almost just by default, and it's really like all I can do. You know, my harmonies.
That's a great
boyfriend
thing.
harmonies.
Yeah.
We call all my harmonies boyfriend harmonies because I'm always the lower voice.
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
But also just not having like specific choir training. That's why training can be such a hindrance, you know, like sometimes then you're like, oh, I know how to do the third and the fifth, or, you know, it's like if you don't know that, then you just come up with whatever you're feeling, and what you're feeling could be different but great. And you know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does anyone else have any other questions? This gentleman.
Thank you. I'm sorry my English is not perfect, but when you're on tour, do you have time to enjoy, to visit the countries, the city, or do you have to travel fast? And also, one of my best memories of your tour in Europe is in Switzerland near the Geneva Lake. I really loved you. And I wonder, what is one of your great memories of Europe?
Well, that was one.
Yeah.
We got to go out on a boat
Yeah.
and go swimming,
Yeah.
and we had a really amazing meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's a rare moment where we have a day where we get to do that. That doesn't always happen.
Would you get to see much of Dublin?
I mean, how long have we spent here? But I feel like we're usually kind of in and out, maybe 2 days at most. She came here early, so maybe you have an exciting story to share with the group, T.
Sorry, vegetarians. I ate a really good steak last night. I wanted to go to the Butcher's Grill because I actually stumbled upon that the last time I was here, and I had I had been vegetarian for like 6 months, and I was getting really anemic, and so I realized I had to have a steak, and I went to the Butcher's Grill. It was like the best steak I'd ever had in my life, and it was honestly, it was really good. So I tried to go there, but didn't work out. And then we had an FX Buckley, is that his name? Steak. Yeah, he's an institution around here. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, it's really just, I love Guinness. So like, is that really typical? I really do though. I get excited about having Guinness. And what else did I do? It's just nice. I have actually went out once. We had a couple days here. Went out to the countryside to like a big manor that one of my friends was staying at. He's a poet, and this woman was like a Gertrude Stein type of person who like had artists and people coming in, and we played chess, and it was like all really sophisticated. And
Who was that?
It was.
Was it Little John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a guy we met in Atlanta actually, but he's also Irish and has been our friend for like since 2011, and yeah, had some good times here really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will we take? Is there one more question? If this woman here.
Hi. So like, what was your favorite record or album you ever wrote, or best memories you ever had from your favorite album in the past, or record that you ever wrote?
A record we wrote, or just a record?
Yeah, like that you wrote together. Like, what best memories or your favorite?
Oh, cool.
Huh. I'm like, huh.
Writing process.
The EP? Maybe our EP, just because, well, for me, I mean, they've all been, I love the process, and it's fun, and they're all different, but I think the EP, it was our first time ever doing that, and I just remember walking to the studio, and I lived kind of far away, but I just enjoyed walking and have headphones on, and it'd take me like an hour, and I just remember being really excited and felt like I was doing something important in my life, and it was a really good feeling. And we had a lot of fun there too.
Yeah. I remember we all kind of lived together we lived together. We've lived together a couple times, and we had our garage at the Hillhurst house, and that was before the EP. Writing, doing that was really fun. The cops always coming, and
Turn it down.
And then we rented a place in Joshua Tree when we did writing for our that was the Warpaint album.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cops came there too.
Yep.
And
Just loud.
when the cops come, you know it's a good song.
Yeah.
And then they came during Discovery, which was
Yeah, that was really funny. Well, that was just like next. We would have been playing that song for like
yeah, we played
10 hours, so long. It was just, I'm sure people were like,
Yeah, no, the woman.
Turn that
I
shit
I
off.
forgot about this until Stella said it the other day. The woman that complained, she said she was getting nauseous. She was complained because she was getting nauseous.
We gave her vertigo. Oh, that would be I'd be irritated too.
I know.
That song, dude. It's just so weird. I know. For hours and hours. No.
Thank you for sharing that. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us here. You're playing at the Undergrowth stage at 8:30.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure these people don't need any excuse to come. So go see Warpaint. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Round of
you
applause.
guys
Thank
for
you.
coming and hanging out.
Excellent.
You're so sweet. Thank you.